Kyle Pitts can be a really good tight end in the league. The only issue is he's on the wrong team. And because of that, the Atlanta Falcons need to try to acquire these tight ends to take them over the edge and make them contenders. And there's no surprise that Kyle Pitts is not living up to the standard that the Atlanta Falcons want him to be. And I personally believe it's because they have so many great skill position players on the offense. They are not able to make the game plan around Kyle Pitts. And that is something that you need to do to showcase his elite gifts and athletic ability. He needs to be the number one or number two in the offense for you to get that 1,000, 1,500 yard production out of him. And the Atlanta Falcons simply have too many good players to do that. And because of that, I think the Atlanta Falcons need to trade him to get draft capital, but also save money in a tight cap situation with Kirk Cousins sitting on the back end. Now, in this video, I'm going to break down who I think the Atlanta Falcons should get at the tight end position and why this would work. Now, person number one, this may come with a lot of speculation, but I think the Atlanta Falcons should try to go after Mark Andrews. There's no surprise that Mark Andrews is a good tight end, but he's recently been in the media because he dropped a 2-point conversion catch that would have tied the game. At the end of the day, Mark Andrews is a really good tight end, but more specifically, he can give the Atlanta Falcons what they need. Not only a possession catching tight end who has a large catch radius and is a security blanket for the quarterback, but he's also a blocker. We've seen the Atlanta Falcons take Kyle Pitts out of the game because they were not confident in his ability to block. And Mark Andrews not only will slot in and be that second blocker for the Atlanta Falcons, but also can and was dangerous in catching and securing the football for the quarterback. And so Mark Andrews should be the number one option here. Now, why would that not happen? Mark Andrews has a $16 million cap hit. It'll be kind of expensive, and the Atlanta Falcons would probably have to give up some draft capital to get him, maybe a fourth and fifth rounder. And that is something that the Atlanta Falcons at this point don't have a lot of flexibility to give up. They have 5 picks next year in the 2025 draft, and it's kind of dicey because they need all those picks and they need players to fill out this roster. Mark Andrews will be my number one option, but the fact of the matter is it may not happen simply because they would have to give up some draft capital and maybe even a player to acquire him. And I think there are some other free agents on the market that could help, if not just as much. Tight end number 2. This one is probably most likely, in my opinion, because he's a free agent, and that is Austin Hooper. Austin Hooper has, number 1, played with the Atlanta Falcons before. Number 2, he is the second tight end on his current team. Hunter Henry is the starting tight end for the New England Patriots, and Austin Hooper is that secondary tight end. So the fact of the matter is, he may not be a priority for them to re-sign in the offseason. And number 3, he is a skilled tight end that could fill all of the needs of the Atlanta Falcons. Like I mentioned, the Atlanta Falcons need a tight end that can block and also is a possession catching tight end. We've also seen this resurgence of Charlie Warner because he is a phenomenal blocker on the edge, and this offense is predicated on running the ball, play action, throwing the ball around, but it's more specifically predicated on that 11 personnel, where the tight end is really not a feature factor in this offense. Austin Hooper can come in, be that guy that can catch when he's needed to, but more specifically block on the edge when they go 2 tight end personnel, but also be a guy that if he's not getting the ball 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times a game, that's all right. He's not expected to do that. And that's something that I think is a miss in regards to Kyle Pitts, is because he should be getting the ball 10, 11 times a game, but the Atlanta Falcons have so many good players, they are unable to do that, especially in the Zach Robinson offense. Third tight end that I think the Atlanta Falcons should go after, more specifically, have the ability to go after, is Tommy Trimble of the Carolina Panthers. We see Carolina, and we see how good they're getting, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go out and try to get some splash players in the offseason to help Bryce Young elevate his game. I personally think Kyle Pitts will be a great fit for the Carolina Panthers because they don't have a feature receiver, and Kyle Pitts can be their feature receiver. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say you don't trade cross-divisionally, and I agree to that effect, but I think Carolina Panthers could benefit from Kyle Pitts, and I think the Atlanta Falcons could benefit from signing Tommy Trimble. Now, what does Tommy Trimble bring to this offense? Like I said, it goes back to his blocking. Tommy Trimble is a very improved blocker. He is better a blocker than Kyle Pitts. And also, Tommy Trimble is athletic and can, when needed to, make that downfield catch that can propel this team to another level in next year's season. So, I think Tommy Trimble is a great free agent. He's not the pass blocker or the run blocker like Austin Hooper or Mark Andrews is, but he is a cheaper option that the Atlanta Falcons, if the Atlanta Falcons decide to move on from Kyle Pitts, he could be a guy that can fill in, get the job done, but also won't be around a bunch of controversy because he's not the fourth overall pick in the NFL draft. Now, if you agree or disagree with me, leave a comment down below. Let me know how you feel about these tight ends, but at the end of the day, I can guarantee a lot of Falcons fans are saying this: we need to trade Kyle Pitts, and these three players that I just listed are viable options after we trade Kyle Pitts, which I think is and should happen in the offseason. But like I said, if you can please do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. If you want to see more videos like this, check this one out right here. And like always, peace.